Huge week overall. Talk about the week in general. Obviously, things were rolling well for you. First in qualifying, first for the show today.
Oh yeah, it was surprisingly easy. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I had a couple of times where I had to grind out some 180s and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, I matched up really good. I had a nice soft arm swing this week, soft hand, which allowed the ball some time to curve, and help carry because you could easily throw it through the back of the pattern. I mean, 210s were very common this week. So it was qualifying and match play. I had the same shape. TV show is slightly different, but you got to factor in some adrenaline and a little nerves too in that. So.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. You get to your first TV show. Here come the lights. How nice was it to be able to not have to bowl in those first couple of matches and be able to sit back and watch it a little bit?
Oh, it was ideal. Could I have climbed the ladder for my first title? Possibly. Glad I didn't have to try. Leading it from wire to wire was definitely the way to go. That match on Friday night against Steve was huge to me because that guaranteed me one game. So I really, knuckled down and wanted to finish it off.
So when you get down now and finally there's just two of you left and you finally get your chance to bowl, what was it like? Are there nerves for the first TV show?
A little bit. I don't know if the cameras was as big the cameras didn't bother me. I think going for a Masters title was really the biggest thing, I've been battling a cold since the night block. We had to bowl the second round of qualifying at night and be back at 10 a.m. and I got a head cold because I only got like 4 hours sleep. So I've been taking NyQuil the last few nights. So the first 3-4 hours of the day, man, I got the whim-whams, a little NyQuil hangover, So I had a little bit of that this morning and it got better. But then when the lights kicked on and started rolling, I had a little bit of sea legs for the first couple frames for sure.
How are things for you today versus the week? How did it break down a little differently maybe than you expected?
The overall concept was the same, except the balls that I used all week couldn't get around the corner. So anticipating that, I drilled a couple balls on the truck last night to accommodate the idea that possibly those balls won't work. And sure enough, they didn't. And the ball I drilled last night worked real nice.
So finally, you get down to those last few frames. What was the point where you knew that you had this thing?
Well, I never, because I thought for sure Danny was going to label the 1 in the 10th. You don't become one of the 50 greatest bowlers of all time without striking when it matters. And I caught a break of a lifetime for my first title, that's for sure.
What's the feeling now? Masters champion, is it sunk in yet?
Not a bit. Not a bit. I mean, I love the majors. I really do. And it's an honor to be a part of this fraternity. To think that Dick Weber and Pete Weber haven't won this title, and I have, is pretty crazy to me.